Garden Report is brought to you by Prize Picks and the Game Time app.
Hey, Bobby Manning here. Welcome to the Garden Report. Noah Dalzell alongside as we get another exciting, exhilarating, I'd say tonight, Neemias Queta game. Second start in a row for him with Jaylen Brown down for the third straight night. Could be a lingering absence for Brown here, though day-to-day still the designation. And as time progresses here and Luke Kornet picks up an apparent injury in this game, Queta's role is going to remain here. And I was trying to figure out who they were going to start in this game. Would they go with Kornet again after giving Queta a nod in Atlanta and seeing some highs and lows in that game? Or are they going to throw him into this extremely challenging matchup here? And the sense I got going in was they want to see what he could do against the Warriors here. So he starts, he rolls in that opening sequence and carries it from there. I thought some big moments in the second half on the offensive glass, a couple thrilling dunks, and an overall effort on defense that, given what he was going up against, was really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, he's young. If you still look at his total NBA minutes compared to these other guys, compared to Luke Kornet, compared to other backup bigs, it's really limited. But what we're seeing early on here from him, I think exceeds what our wildest aspirations were for him. And we were talking earlier in the season, is there a space for a guy to break through here? Not really. There was a couple candidates of maybe backup minutes. We were thinking maybe Tillman, maybe some guys in the perimeter, but he's been the big star as far as the role players that we didn't really know what to expect from. And beyond just his contributions on the court, the offensive rebounds are great. I think defensively he showed more versatility today and in the last few games than I thought he was capable of at this point in his career. He just has a way of energizing the crowd and really rallying the fans. There's a reason why he's been a fan favorite, I think, from the moment that he signed, a two-way in Boston. And tonight in a game where there was a lot of lulls, a lot of missed shots, kind of a slow, muddy game early on here, he had some plays that he came in and really got this place going. And the bench was going crazy, and you just could feel that he has this presence. And you want to tap into that and get more out of it. And I think that he's gonna really be a game changer for this team this season.
Yeah, and they need it. We've said it a million times. Offensive rebounding. If you're going to shoot 50, 60 threes like they've been doing at times here, and you go cold as they did tonight, there's going to be a lot of misses up for grabs, and he picks up 5. I think it's not crazy to say that if he wasn't out there for as often as he was in this game, they might have trailed by more. They were down 14 and a half, and they might not have gotten back into this game.
No, I think he was one of the most important factors in this game. And the mistakes are starting to become more sporadic. We used to be where he'd make one great play and then he'd be totally lost for a couple of plays. And when you think about it, we're talking used to be. This is a year ago.
Yep.
And it's not like he has that many NBA minutes since then. And so there's been a concerted effort. You asked Charles Lee about it in Charlotte, and he talked about how Nemi had to embrace the fact that there's a really complex defensive system and that a lot is being asked of you, and it's different than what he had to deal with in Sacramento and in previous stops. And so he's embracing that. He's learning. They're coaching him hard. They're coaching him hard, I think, because they don't view him as a guy who can eat some minutes in November and then they're going to move on from him. I think they really view him as a potential long-term piece here, the same way that we saw guys like Sam Hauser go from main Celtics guys to really key pieces on a championship contender.
Yeah, and you mentioned it 3 nights ago. It looked like the start of something special there in Charlotte, flow into Atlanta where he gets the first start, and now tonight his breakout moment on ESPN, no less. I'm sure a lot of people watched this game not fully knowing who he was, and he capitalized on it in a major way. I'm sure we'll continue to still see him here going forward, especially if Kornet's hurt. More spot starts in store. If Jaylen's out, it looks like a good combination with Horford. So the lane got clogged up a little bit at times tonight, so I have to figure out what's the best mix there in combinations. But it's enviable depth that Boston has here with him involved. But how much are you starting to dream about what he could become? Center of the future? That's what I started to think about tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only reservation with him really, because I do think that the schematic things that he's still working on, he's only going to get better at. There's no reason to think that he's not capable of figuring everything out that Luke figured out, honestly.
Especially since he can switch.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I was so impressed by the fact that he was able to guard guys like Steph Curry and Buddy Hield 40 feet away from the basket. And a couple times he got burned, but the fact that he's even out there and he's able to move his feet at his size, it's pretty mind-blowing. But the thing right now is he ever going to become a shooter? And I don't mean he has to become a sharpshooter, but is he ever going to be a guy that you don't have to completely ignore in the perimeter and even mid-range? That's the only thing that's really holding me back from being this is the center of the future, because I think the future is you want to have 5 guys out there that can shoot for the most part. But I think he can get there. I watch him shoot all the time. It's like, just because right now he's not a shooter doesn't mean he's not going to get there. Al Horford didn't attempt a three the first half of his career, and he's an elite shooter now. So I think that's the only thing with him, is you don't know what the offensive ceiling is, but he just has these intangibles. He has good hands. He catches tough passes. He finishes around the rim. Defensively, he's better than we expected. Offensive rebounding is a gift. The wingspan, Joe Mazzulla said it was 9 feet. Like, there's a lot there to like. And so the things that are deficits right now, you just hope that he can work on and get better. And I'm super excited about him.
Yeah, and to Mazzulla's point about him realizing how good he can be, good spot to put him in, to make him believe that, going against Warriors team that still has that allure, national TV, all that. They put him in a big spot tonight, and he came through, and that probably only adds to his belief. Check out Prize Picks. Use code CLNS over there for a bonus when you play your first lineup. Check out Game Time. Use code CLNS for $20 off your first ticket purchase over there. Nets Celtics coming up on Friday. Get in here, terms apply. And check out Built to get rewards on your rent. For Noah Dalzell, I'm Bobby Manning. This has been the Garden Report, and we'll see you on Friday for Celtics Nets back here at TD Garden.